I forgot the orange story. You remember this.
I don't remember this.
We got a job, a contract. They wanted to put oranges in a box so that all the same color oranges was up front.
Oh.
And well, it turns out you can't sell cigars if there's green and brown and green and brown and you can't sell oranges when some are pink, some are red, some are, you got to have them all the same color. It doesn't matter what the color is. They all got to be the same color.
Consistent.
So the guy calls up, I forget who it was, says we need a machine to sort the oranges, to put them in a box, particularly the top layer, that are all the same color. So you've got these boxes or crates of oranges, they're about this big, about this high, little crates, and do this. So we said, okay, now that was, remember, this is color. This is 1850 or some number, whatever it is, 1966, 60, something like that. So we said, yeah, we can do anything, right? So we started to do it, and we got a contract, and we're working away. All of a sudden, he calls me up Friday and says, stop the contract. What? I said, look, you're on contract. I said, when do you want me to stop? He says, this afternoon. I don't know if you remember that. I says, what? He says, I'll explain later. Click, beep. So what are we going to do? We only can charge for the rest of that day, and we're contract, like you've done contracting, consulting work, most of us have. That's why they hire you, so they can do that.
Yes.
So about a month later, I call him up and I said, gee, what happened to the project? He said, we found a wonderful solution. I said, what's that? He said, we paint the oranges.
I have heard that.
You say to yourself, ding da. One of the things we worked on recently, in the last 10 years, is a thing called loosely coupled sets, which is the ability to determine stuff according to groups of sensors, not a single sensor. So we decided we're going to use that to recognize signatures in credit cards. So we write, and the operating system has to be changed. The compiler, really, not the operating system, has to be changed to be able to use these techniques, chaos and all that stuff. So we do that, and it's 4 to 6 lines of descriptive code. We weigh the person, we see how long it takes to write, we do all this calibration, and we can calibrate the person signing the card to the person statistically likely to be that person. That means now we can blame the clerk if he doesn't check the card, the signature on the card, for that 2 to 3%. So we are happy as clams. We've solved the world's problems. Out we go, and we go to Australia of all people, because I knew the guy there who was in charge of MasterCard in Asia. So I said, hey, great. He says, it works, right? Right. He said, we don't want it. What do you mean? We've invented anti-gravity. What do you mean? You know, no software, you detect all the people in the world and all that stuff? He says, no. I said, well, how do you solve it now? We insure it. We call up the insurance company, and we pay them, and they cover the 3% loss. Sayonara. So many times, what your technology competition is not the technology in the technology domain. Some other domain. All right? It's an interesting provision. I keep telling my friends here that the technology is to some extent irrelevant. Very necessary, but irrelevant. It's not part of the equation. Remember, okay? Everybody thinks that necessity is the mother of invention. No, it's not. Okay? What you want is make a problem. And innovation makes problems. Engineering solves problems. So you want to make a problem. Think about the iPod and all. A lot of failures, we've talked about some today. Segway. Okay? Right. Super mini computers. The kinds of things we've done today, we have a lot of failures. In the angel business, the failure rate is somewhere between 80% to 90%, something like that rate. By failure rate, we mean they're not successes. They don't necessarily go bankrupt. They become what we call the living dead. They're making jobs, they're surviving. It's like a law firm. They're okay, but you wouldn't want to own stock in it. George and I own lots of stock in a lot of those, but we don't have any cash.
Yeah, and it's the sort you'd like to go hold their head under water.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So we can at least take the write-off. Go away. Can we put them down? Yeah. So it's that kind of thing.
The worst are the ones that seem to disappear and you don't even know where they got to.
Yeah, they're just gone.
Just go away.
So we wait an appropriate number of years, which is X, and we say, okay, they must be dead. They've been at sea 3 months. They got to have drowned.
When you need the laws.
Yep, yep. Which we never seem to need the loss. Seldom anyway.
So far.
So that's the key. So I got to tell you the story about oil sands.
Sure.
The oil sands one is, I got a guy up at oil sands. Now, he wants me to give a keynote speech up at oil sands in Canada, one of the biggest oil fields around. I don't know, how big is that field?
Second to Saudi Arabia. is
Second
what
to
they
Saudi
say.
Arabia? Okay.
Well,
But
barrels
anyway,
in
it's a
place,
big,
right?
it's a big oil field.
Right.
So I said, I can't come, I'm on crutches. And I got enough medication, so I'm not seeing double, I'm seeing quadruple, right? So I can't come up. He says, the guy up there says, yes, you can. I said, no, wait a minute. No, really, I really am, honest to God, I'm handicapped. I'm not a cane, I'm in 2 crutches. He says, no, I know you're coming, Dick. What are you talking about? He says, I know you like toys, right? Right. He said, I'll let you give you a ride in my pickup. What are you talking about? He said, it's the biggest pickup in the world. When do you want me?
Can you do a baby?
Yeah, I'm with you right all the way. I went up there. I like the security and stuff like that, but it's the Wild West all over again. A lot of men, no women. Everybody's running around, paying high salaries, leaving as soon as they can. It's a wonderful life. Yeah, that's the oil sand stuff.
Yeah, speaking of heavy equipment, you weren't there for the move of the parsonage.
No, I wasn't. Well, that's what all the police were.